So I'm doing this a little bit quicker than I thought it was going to be, but I'm doing a part 2 on a Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, and just giving my some further thoughts that I've had on this game. And I might have been come off as a bit harsh, but those glitching that do occur, and I've discovered some more while playing. For example, in Rock Bottom, for some reason, in certain sections in Rock Bottom, when you fall off a platform, you don't die. You're just kind of bouncing about and glitching in and out, and I had to reset the area in order to continue. So that was an irritation. But interestingly, in Sandy's Dream, the slide in that section ran perfectly fine. So I don't know why Sand Mountain had such an issue running on my PS4. I don't know, it could have been an isolated issue, but it is what it is. And so I was watching someone else's review to see what they thought, and they said, it's half the price of a AAA game, so give it a break. And I kind of agree and disagree at the same time. Now, the original game did have a few flaws to it, and those are still present here, as it's a very faithful remake. However, I don't feel that glitches and that, and frame rate issues, I don't think they, should be just given a pass for, oh well, it's only half the price, what do you expect? At the end of the day, you're still paying money for it, so, I expect it to at least run correctly. So that's all I'm saying on those behalf. But other than that, I've pretty much completed the game. The only things that I haven't done is I haven't got all the golden spatulas from Mr. Krabs, and I'm still missing 2 spatulas from Patrick from collecting socks. But other than that, every level done, happy days. And to be honest, it didn't take me very long to complete. Something I was a little bit irritated about is that they deliberately remove the ability to cheat certain sections. For example, the monotonous task in Kelp Forest of grabbing the stone tiki eggs with Patrick and putting them onto the 3 slabs. In the original, you could actually get away with only collecting 1 or at the most 2, and then jumping on them and then jumping to grab the ledge. Unfortunately, they've removed the ability to grab the ledge in that section, so you can't grab the ledge anymore. You have to complete, which is still tedious like it was in the original. I will say though, Kelp Forest, infinitely better than the original. Infinitely better than the original. For one, I can actually see everything. I can actually see everything in front of me, which makes it especially good when, jumping from leaf to leaf. I do like the fact that the leaves you can jump on are coloured orange, rather than just being, green, so I don't have to turn up the contrast on my TV and the brightness whenever I want to play Kelp Forest, which I actually left after I'd actually done the Robo Spongebob boss fight. I actually waited until after that to do Kelp Forest because I really just didn't want to. But to be honest, I enjoyed Kelp Forest more this time, but the same issues in the original are still here. For example, again, I'm going to use Kelp Forest. The bus stops, actually. I'm just going to talk about the bus stops in general. I experienced it most in Kelp Forest and also a few other levels, is that I really wish they added more bus stops. Like, that's just something small and little that I would have appreciated, because it's really irritating backtracking just to get to the bus stop. In fact, in some cases, I found that it was actually just quicker to reload that level at that location, just get a taxi to that section, than it was actually, walking there. So, I mean, that was in the original, so I can't really hold that against them, but if they ever do update it again, like have a major update, I would like them to add some more bus stops in there. Something I will say though, the bus stops changing character, basically no noticeable loading time. It loads just as quickly in this version as it did in the original, which is nice. So that is all nice one got, and it's also I will say the cruise bubble. Because I think it's better in this version than it is in the original, and I'll tell you why. Is because you have more control over it. For example, pressing the button to launch it. If you hold down the button before you launch, you can actually basically you're able to aim it before you actually fire it. Which is nice, which means that you can get more accurate aims. Also, something that they have changed, which makes the final platforming level inside Robo Spongebob actually a lot easier, is that you don't have to do it all in one go. If you die, then you're spawned from the last piece of the brain that you destroyed, which I actually found out when I accidentally got hit and thrown off a platform. The throwing, basically, when you get hit, you are thrown quite away, so that is still a thing. But yeah, but I was able to be honest, the final boss and that I was able to complete pretty quickly actually. So yeah, this game, it actually felt a lot shorter than I remember. That's also the thing of games have gotten a lot longer. In recent years. I mean, this is a game from 2003 for the PS2. So it is, a lot short. It's not short, like, you're going to be spending a good few hours at least. Like, say, this is at least a 8-hour plus game. I reckon if you're playing it normally, at least 8 hours plus. Obviously, it can go a lot longer depending on, obviously, skill level, or if you go for all the collectibles and basically completing it 100%. Am I gonna go and complete it 100%? No. I think that's kind of it for me. Some disappointments in the marketing. I really wish the marketing for the, we're bringing back all levels in the Robo Squidward. Yeah. Excuse me. Having that exclusive to the Horde mode, where, the basically Horde mode is, you have several islands of enemies that you have to destroy, and there's Robo Squidward just moving his tentacles and that in the background for the most part. That's it. You don't actually fight him head on. So if you're thinking, oh yeah, you're getting restored content that was cut from the original, no, that is not the case. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So I really wish, that wasn't brought up so much in the marketing for this. I mean, for example, it almost feels like Robo Squidward was an afterthought. To be honest, I think the only reason they put them in is because, it's a good way to market the game, but other than that, But everything else, I would say that, for the most part, I probably will be playing this version from now on. To be honest, it is, obviously visually nicer to look at. But I will say the original, for the most part, plays better. Because I just a few little things, like, for example, the controls, for the most part, I have gotten used to them. I will say the original did have much slightly more responsive controls than this one did. But other than that, I don't really have anything else to say. I do highly recommend it. I mean, if you enjoyed the original, you enjoy this one, and if you haven't played either version, then unless, you already have, a PS2 or an original Xbox, even a GameCube handy, then I would recommend this version. I wouldn't say, I mean, to be honest, other than the graphics, though, like, don't be expecting a night and day sort of improvement. It is literally just the same game, which is good and bad at the same time. I mean, it's a nice, faithful creation of the original game, but it also brings the original's flaws and a couple of glitches of its own added. But I do highly recommend this game. I think it's been treated a little bit unfairly, to be honest. I mean, I've seen some reviewers give it a 2 out of 10 and calling it horrible. Because, like, really? This is, like, one of the worst things ever? And also, it's nice to have a 3D platform. I mean, 3D platformers are slowly crawling back. And when I say crawling, I do mean crawling. Like, there's a teeny tiny, amount of them these days. We don't get many, collectathon 3D platformers these days. Especially, not on Xboxes or PlayStations anymore. I mean, to be honest, we didn't really much on Xboxes anyway, so... But, yeah, it is nice to have this back, and, it is just literally... It is what it is. If they can fix those glitches, then I will probably, give this, I don't know, an 8 out of 10. If you can fit it, if those glitches can be fixed and can be properly optimized, then yeah, highly recommend it. But with the glitches there, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10, to be honest. And I don't normally rate things out of 10, but everyone else seems to, so I might do that. But yeah, it brings it down slightly with those glitches. Again, if they're fixed, then hooray, happy days, hunky dory. But if not, then... But what I will say is, for the love of God, do not buy the fun or shiny editions of this game. At least not for full price. If they go on sale, which I'm willing to bet they're probably going to, then yeah, by all means. But at least from a UK perspective, I think it's £160 for the shiny edition and £260 for the fun edition, which is just ridiculous. It is just absolutely ridiculous for what you get. I mean, some of the stuff they're throwing is just bloody stickers. I think, this game, also something interesting actually, the original game is rated 3+, whereas the new one, the Rehydrated, is rated 7. And that's age rating, by the way. Just so, at least, again, for Europe, in the UK, that is what's rated. Which is interesting, because that's a higher rating than the original. Again, that could just be the people looking at it and going, oh yes. Maybe not, or it could be marketing. Again, I imagine, a large majority of people who are going to be picking this up are probably going to be people like me who are, somewhere in their 20s, who played the original. Again, kids will probably pick this up because, again, this is a Spongebob property, which is most likely the reason it got made is because a remake, because a lot of people are saying, oh, why didn't this game get remade? Why didn't this game get remade? Well, Spongebob is still an active property. There are still new episodes coming out. It still gets plenty of merchandise. And I think the reason it's being released now is probably also tying with its, it had its 20th anniversary last year. And also it has its third film coming out in August. But yeah. Now, Purple Lamp Studios, I will say they did do a pretty good job. And if they were to do... A lot of people talk about, oh, what should they remake next? If Purple Lamp Studios do one, what could they remake next? Well, obviously, there's Heavy Iron Studios' other work, which is a lot of people saying the movie game, although that one makes kind of less sense, to be honest, because, it was based on the first film, so, I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I doubt it. To be honest, if they were to remake another SpongeBob game, not do an original one, then I don't know, off the top of my head, something like either Likes Camera Panks or Creature from the Krusty Krab. Yeah, because to be honest, I think that game is highly underrated. But another property that they could do, which did use assets from this, they could use certain assets, because Heavy Iron Studios actually did originally, Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights, which I think is the only one that could happen as well. The reason is because, just like SpongeBob, Scooby-Doo is a property that is still going. It had a feature film out this year that was supposed to be released in the cinemas, but it wasn't. And it has a TV show currently airing, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. It hasn't had a major video game in quite a while. Also, maybe that is, food for thought. Maybe they could remake that. But other than that, not really much else to say on this game. Obviously, if it does get an update, and anything majorly changes, then I might take a look at it again. But overall, I'm kind of, done with this. But if you were thinking of checking it out, then I will say it is very much worth your time. And I will say 90% of the time I was playing, perfectly fine, but that 10% does stick out like a sore thumb when it does happen. And it's only on certain sections, to be honest. The glitches didn't really start happening until the second half of the game. So, for the most part, it was perfectly fine. And some of it actually, most of it ran pretty damn smoothly. So, I know it may be counterintuitive of what I said last time, but I thought that I should, try and be fair on this. But anyway, that's it. And let me know if you'd like me to do any game reviews in the future, or say game reviews. They're not proper ones. They're just my initial thoughts on them. But yeah, that's it for this one. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.